Can you believe it? The Minnesota Timberwolves just traded the player who led them to their first Western Conference Finals in 20 years. Yup, Karl Anthony Towns, their franchise star, is on his way out. And no one, not even the legendary Mike Breen, could have predicted this. But what's Minnesota getting in return? Is this a move they'll regret? Or do they know something we don't? In today's video, we're taking a close look at one of the hottest topics in the NBA right now, the blockbuster trade of Karl Anthony Towns. But that's not all. Stick around because we're also going to drop some jaw-dropping facts about Cat that most fans have never heard before. Trust me, you don't want to miss this. Karl Anthony Towns is headed to New York. According to reports from The Athletic and ESPN, the Minnesota Timberwolves are trading their four-time NBA All-Star center to the New York Knicks. In exchange, the Timberwolves will receive three-time All-Star forward Julius Randle, guard Donte DiVincenzo, and a protected 2025 first-round pick from the Detroit Pistons. Towns has been the cornerstone of the Timberwolves for 9 seasons, boasting an impressive career average of 22.9 points, 10.8 rebounds, and 1.3 blocks per game. After being the #1 overall pick in the 2015 NBA draft out of Kentucky, he became a key figure in Minnesota's push to the Western Conference Finals last season, their first in 20 years, before falling to the Dallas Mavericks. Julius Randle is packing his bags for Minnesota after 5 strong seasons with the Knicks. Though his 2023-24 season was cut short due to shoulder surgery, Randle still put up impressive numbers, averaging 24 points, 9.2 rebounds, and 5 assists in just 46 games. As for Donte DiVincenzo, he's coming off his best season yet, where he averaged 15.5 points per game and set the Knicks' single-season record for three-pointers made, 283. His shooting skills will be a major asset for Minnesota. The Charlotte Hornets are also in the mix to make the financials work, with New York sending some salary and draft compensation their way, including guard Daquan Jeffries. With the 2024-25 NBA season tipping off on October 22nd, fans can expect some fireworks when the Timberwolves face the Los Angeles Lakers, and the Knicks take on the reigning champion Boston Celtics. This trade shakes up both rosters and sets the stage for an exciting season ahead. But will Wolves regret this decision? Let's take a look on Towns' numbers so far in the NBA. Karl Anthony Towns has been a cornerstone for the Minnesota Timberwolves, and his impact on both ends of the court speaks volumes. Over his 9-year career, Towns has consistently put up impressive numbers, making him one of only 10 players in NBA history to average at least 22 points and 10 rebounds per game, minimum 500 games. He's also carved out a unique spot in NBA history as the only player to shoot 55% or better on 0-0-0 plus 2-point attempts and 38% or better on 1-0-0-0 plus 3-point attempts. Combine that with his incredible feat of hitting 100 three-pointers, blocking 100 shots, and grabbing 1,000 rebounds in a single season. Not once, but twice. And it's clear he is one of the league's most versatile big men. Towns' shooting ability sets him apart, especially for a player of his size. With 975 career three-pointers, he ranks 4th all-time among 7-footers. And his 39.8% from beyond the arc is the best among those who have attempted at least 200 threes. This past season, he was only the 6th player ever to shoot 50% from the field, 40% from 3, and 85% from the free throw line with minimum qualifying attempts. An extraordinary level of efficiency. Even though his paint shooting was the lowest of his career, Towns made up for it by setting a career-high effective field goal percentage outside the paint at 57.6%. Offensively, Towns has been crucial to Minnesota's success. Last season, the Wolves averaged 116.3 points per 100 possessions when he was on the floor, and with all 5 starters playing together, that number jumped to 118.7. While Minnesota was solid when either Towns or Rudy Gobert was on the court, the team performed better when both shared the floor, showcasing Towns' ability to coexist with another dominant big man. Although his defensive impact has sometimes been criticized, last season Towns posted his best rim protection numbers in 4 years, allowing opponents to shoot 60.6% at the rim when he was the primary defender. However, there have been some noticeable changes in Towns' game. His post-up numbers hit a career low last season, and he was assisted on 73.5% of his baskets, the highest mark of his career, showing a shift away from creating his own offense. His assist percentage also dropped to its lowest in 5 years, suggesting he's been less involved in playmaking. When it comes to the playoffs, Towns' performance has dipped at times, with his true shooting percentage dropping in each of the last 2 years. Still, his 58.1% in the 2024 playoffs was better than the league average, outperforming most of his Knicks teammates who saw significant minutes. With Towns now heading to New York, the question is, will the Timberwolves regret this trade? Towns' unique skill set and his offensive dominance, especially as a shooter, are rare for a big man. His stats clearly answers the most important question: how good is Karl Anthony Towns? While Julius Randle and Dante DiVincenzo are strong additions, replacing a player of Towns' caliber is never easy. Time will tell if Minnesota made the right call or if they'll miss the player who gave them their first Western Conference Finals appearance in 2 decades. Before we conclude, here are some interesting facts. We promised in the start of the video, Karl Anthony Towns faced unimaginable loss during the pandemic, losing 7 family members, including his mother, to COVID-19. But instead of being broken, he turned that pain into power. In March 2022, Towns dropped 60 points, a performance he couldn't share with his mom, but carried out for her. Despite Minnesota's instability over the years, Towns kept pushing, evolving into one of the best shooting big men in NBA history. Karl Anthony Towns isn't just skilled on the basketball court. He's also a talented musician who enjoys playing a variety of instruments in his free time. Karl Anthony Towns is using his platform to champion women's empowerment. When his former agent, Leon Rose, became president of the New York Knicks, Towns appointed Jessica Holtz as his new agent, making her the first woman to represent 2 NBA players with maximum contracts. She also represents Devin Booker of the Phoenix Suns. "There's so much more I want to do," Towns says. "I'm committed to helping people of color, but also supporting women in becoming the queens they're meant to be." Towns attributes his resilience and strength to the profound lessons his mother imparted throughout his life. "My mother is the one who gave me the strength, the morals, and the values that I need to deal with this pain, and to shoulder the pain of my sisters, my father, and the rest of my family," he shares. He emphasizes how she taught him to navigate life's challenges while keeping everyone around him in a positive headspace. Towns reflects on her teachings, stating that she encouraged him to strive for a better world, a goal that remains firmly planted in his heart and mind. Despite her physical absence, he believes their bond is eternal. "In this life, the next life, no matter how many lives, my mother and I are always going to be connected," he asserts, highlighting the enduring impact she continues to have on his journey. As we wrap up today's discussion on the Karl Anthony Towns trade, it's clear that the stakes are high for both the New York Knicks and the Minnesota Timberwolves. The question everyone is asking now is, how good is Karl Anthony Towns? His unique skills and impressive stats suggest he could be a game changer for the Knicks, but only time will tell if this bold move pays off. The Karl Anthony Towns trade to New York marks a new chapter in his career, and basketball fans will be watching closely to see how he meshes with his new teammates. Will the Karl Anthony Towns Knicks trade be a stroke of genius or a decision the Timberwolves will regret? Make sure to leave your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more updates on all things NBA.